Alright, what's going on, guys? Today I'm going to be doing a rod and reel arsenal. The reason I'm doing it now is because I kind of feel like with all my setups I have like all my bases covered and everything. And I don't feel like spending any more money anytime soon, and I mean, I got what I need. So I'm pretty much going to go over everything, give you a rundown of like what baits I use on it and how I like it, if I would recommend it, and then in the description I'll tell you like the cost of all of them, so if you want to pick it up I'll leave you a link or something like that. But yeah, anyways, let's get into it. Alright, this is my first bait casting rod. Well, not my first. My first was a two-piece ugly stick, and we put it on the top of the car on our way to Oregon about the first week I had it, and it flew off the car and got ran over by a big rig. So this is pretty much my first one. But it's a Berkeley lightning rod, Bioshock. You guys have probably seen it. It's an okay rod. Yeah, it's a good starting rod. It's what is it, a medium heavy? It feels like a heavy. But I used a lot of my jigs and stuff on this. You guys probably haven't seen this recently. I haven't used this rod for a good year probably, but if you go back to like my first videos you'll see it. But I think it's like 54 bucks. So a beginner's rod, like it's, you know, decent, medium heavy, you know, you can use everything with it. But yeah, it's not really like an advanced rod like what I use, I guess advanced rod, but I mean, it was okay, you know. First rod. Now this reel doesn't even work anymore. It was my second reel, Shimano Corrado. As you can see, this thing is literally falling apart. I took it in salt water, kind of messed it up, but I mean, it was a great reel while it lasted. I say while it lasted because it kind of just took a poop on me, but I did take it in salt water. But like I used the crap out of this reel. Like, this was like my go-to. Well, I mean, I didn't have anything else to go to, so I just used this all the time. I mean, at first it was like really smooth. I loved it. Grips are nice. But yeah, over time it just took its toll, I guess. But yeah, I've kind of almost like switched over to lose now. I kind of like lose better, and I know I'm gonna get some dislikes or some haters for that. Not that I don't like Shimano. It's just, I don't know, just after trying lose reels, I've had some of my lose reels for like 2 years and they feel like brand new. And I mean, here's this, but I mean, still a great reel. Alright, so I guess we're gonna go from oldest I've had it until like the newest setups. This is the Abu Garcia Black Max, which is the rod I first paired up with this. Now this isn't the original reel. The original one, a part broke in it, so I sent it into Abu Garcia, and I thought it got like stolen or something, but like 6 months later I got it back, and here it is. I'm still using it today because I don't feel the need to buy another one when this one still works. I'm not a huge fan of Abu Garcia. I'm just not. I'd rather go with like Luz or Shimano. Just the quality of their reels I feel like is better, and for the price range it's a lot better. But yeah, Black Max, it's like what everyone knows is like the best like cheap entry reel, and it is. Like, if you're just starting off, you don't want to dump a ton of money on it, I would recommend it, you know, like I'd go for it. So yeah, it's pretty nice. And for the rod, love this rod. Akuma EVX Graphite IM8. This is in 7-foot medium, I think. It's not going to tell me. Pretty sure it's a medium. It's got a, let's see if I can show you this. It's got like a real parabolic bend. This is what I caught my PV on a Texas rig. This is, when I got this rod is kind of when I stopped using this. Just because this one is like really nice. Like the handle on this it's awesome. Like this rod is like probably the most comfortable. It just has like a really good feel. The castability, it's like, it feels like a feather. Like, it's different than any other rod I've ever like used. Yeah, I throw a lot of like crankbaits and stuff, Not even that, like anything with like treble hooks really I'll use on this. That's not super heavy. With this setup, I usually go with like 12-pound mono. Like I'll use spooks, crankbaits, pretty much that's it. Poppers, stuff like that. But the reel, if you're getting into it, I'd recommend the rod. I'd really recommend this rod. Like if you're looking for like a crankbait rod. Now the reel, I'd really recommend, like I said, you know, it's a beginner's reel. So if you're in that price point, definitely go with it. But I mean, any of other Abu Garcia reels, personally, I wouldn't get them. That's just me. I know you guys, there's probably some of you guys that love Abu Garcia and think I'm kind of biased. It's just, I've felt them and it's like I'd rather go with Luz. I already said that. But the rod, really great rod. Like this is the medium. I don't know how any of the other rods would feel, but this one just feels like really good, and it's like 80 bucks. I'm not gonna say the price because I'm not sure on most of them, so I'll just have it in the description. Yeah, the Akuma EVX Graphite IM8, sick rod, my second favorite rod. All right, next up we have the Shimano Sahara 2500 with the Shimano Crucial 7.2 medium fast. This is my drop shot rod. It's actually not 7.2 anymore. You take a close look at that tip. I don't know if you can see that, but I was trying to get it out of a rod locker and it snapped. But I'm actually kind of happy that happened, to be honest, because it was a little like too sensitive. Well, not too sensitive if you're fishing a drop shot, because this is pretty much like a strictly like drop shot rod. But now that that tip is off, I can go with like shaky heads and stuff like that. So I mean, I could before, but it's just better. But yeah, really, it's a good drop shot rod. I actually got this for 60 bucks when it got discontinued, and they got in the new ones. I don't know why I just said that. I told you I was gonna put it in the description. But yeah, it's a really good drop shot rod. Super sensitive, light. I'd recommend getting this. Like, it's a good rod, but if I were to get another drop shot rod, I would go with something cheaper, something different. But it's a good rod. As for the reel, this is I got this right after I got my Corrado, so I've had it for a while. I love it. It's a good reel. One thing with Shimano, like I'm probably always gonna go with Shimano spinning reels, and I mean, I guess yeah, it's kind of biased, but it's just like from my personal preference, like that's what I'm used to. Like I know they're good. I have a lot of friends that use them. So yeah, the reel's really nice. Got this refurbished off eBay, and it's held up ever since. So it's like my drop shot rod, and I like it. Next up, this is the Luz Tournament MB and the Omen Black. This is in a 7.1 medium heavy. Love this rod. Like I said, I don't know if I said it, but it's my favorite rod. It's just like the feel of it, like it's super sensitive. It's just like when you get that bite, like it feels like different than any other rod. And I mean, you can actually tell the difference between like weeds and a bite. With some rods, it's just like dead weight. Like this has a really nice blank in it. I mean, it looks sick. And I'll just show you, it's got like plastic carbon fiber right there, and it's got the quart grips. A lot of people ask me about this rod. Maybe it's because like it's all I use, so that's all they see in my videos. But if you're looking to get this, I so recommend it. Just do it. It's like I said, my favorite rod. If I ever probably next rod I get will probably be 13 Fishing and number 8. Only reason is because they're cheap and like they're good. If you guys didn't know, 13 and number 8, they're pretty much the same company. But yeah, really recommend the rod. As for the reel, like I said, I love Luz reels. Had this thing for, this one I've only had for about 7 months, and it feels like it's new. It's super smooth. The casting casts a mile. It's comfortable. I mean, it just does what you need it to do, so definitely recommend that. Alright, next setup is the Halo Twilight. This is in a 7.3 heavy. It has the micro guides. The only reason I bought this rod is because it was 60 bucks when they were discontinuing this to get, they made like the new model. So they discontinued this one, and it was on Tackle Warehouse for like 60 bucks, so I just went ahead and picked it up. This is my frogging rod. That's like the only thing I'll use this for. You see, got my little frog on there. You've probably seen this frog and this rod in a lot of my recent videos if you've been keeping up. I love frog fishing in the summer, so like I just went ahead and got like a separate setup for it. And like if that's, you know, maybe you haven't got into frog fishing, but if you have, I would so recommend this rod only for that. And I'll talk about it in a second. Only for like frog fishing, really. It's really good. Like you can like horse them out really good with this rod, as you can with pretty much any heavy rod. But I mean, it's really hard to explain. It's not very sensitive, which with frog fishing sensitivity, like you don't need it, like because you're just casting out, watching for the blow up. It's all with your eyes. It's not with the rod. And so I mean that's why this is like a great frog rod. I like read reviews and I was kind of like trying to figure out what they're talking about. Like heard a lot of people say if you're gonna use this for a Texas rig, don't buy it, and like I totally agree with that. Frogging only with this rod, really. And it's got micro guides, which I personally hate micro guides. It's just a pain. Like I tried to use this as a jig rod once, and I tied a leader on it because I had braid on here, and you can't even cast with the micro guides. I just think it's really annoying. But like I said, if you're gonna use it for a frog rod, I definitely recommend this. I don't know if they sell this anymore at its price range or at the price I got it. You could probably find the rod on some website, but I got it for 60 bucks. They came out with a new series. I don't know what that's like. This is the older one, so. And then of course the reel. So Lose Tournament MB, just went over that, same thing. Alright, next up, you might be able to tell it's the same rod. This is the same rod, 7.6 heavy. This is my punching rod, or at least that's what I thought I was going to use it for when I ordered it. You know, I just thought, okay, I need to up my summer game, so I got a frogging rod and a punching rod. I've had this rod for both of these for maybe a year, I want to say. I'm not sure. Still haven't got a punch fish on it. I never got into punching, I guess. Mainly because I don't want to spend $15 on weights. But I mean, I haven't really been in the position where I should punch. But this probably isn't the best punching rod because, like I just said, it's not very sensitive. It can get stuff out of cover good, and I mean, it's a $60 rod, so I have no idea why I have a whopper plopper on here. I don't know. But the reel, this is the Lose LFS Speed Spool, the $100 reel. Awesome reel. If you're looking to get a new reel and you want to go better than the Black Max, this is what you want right here. For 100 bucks, like it's super smooth, casts really good. It's pretty similar to the Tournament MBs. If I was on a budget, which I am, I would probably go with this reel if I ever get a next reel. Or I mean, scratch that. Next reel would be 13 Fishing Inception. But yeah, this is sick reel for 100 bucks. Gets the job done. I don't know, what else can I say? Alright, this is my most recent pickup. I've had this for maybe 4 months, 5 months. The number 8 Hellbent. This whole setup was under 100 bucks. The reel is a Shimano Saina. I think that's how you say it, 2500. Got that for 30 bucks. The rod was 60. After tax, it was still under 100 bucks. I love this rod, especially for 60 bucks. It's really sensitive. Number 8, you guys really impressed me with this. I mean, it's just, I pretty much use it for like wacky rigs and stuff. I do a lot of that at the Delta, or you know, just in ponds and stuff like that. You can also throw like darter heads, shaky heads, you know, stuff like that. If you're looking to get a spinning rod, or I mean a bait, I'm pretty sure they make this in a bait caster. I don't see why they wouldn't. A bait caster for cheap, go with this rod. It's a great choice. It's really nice. I've had it, like I said, can't remember how long I said, but I don't know, super sensitive, looks cool. Definitely recommend that. As for the reel, I mean, it's not amazing. It's a $30 reel, but like, if my buddy got the same exact setup, and I think he loves it too. I mean, it's just like pretty much the cheapest route you can go that's good for like a good spinning setup. I'm gonna be using this a lot in like tournaments, because I always seem to go to the spinning reel in tournaments because I get nervous. But yeah, definitely recommend both of these. Alright, so that was probably the worst rod and reel arsenal you've ever seen. I kind of went off topic a lot, I realized, but hey, hopefully you guys enjoyed. I know a lot of you guys have been asking for this, pretty much just like all my setups. Forgot to mention one thing, the Omen rod I probably use 70% of the time, so like I love that rod. Like out of all of them, that's the one that stands out for me, even though 2 guides broke on it. Forgot to mention that 2 guides have broken off, which I replaced. One is in the middle, still haven't replaced it, still works. But yeah, not gonna talk about that rod. We're ending the video here. If you guys wanna leave any comments, have any questions about any of the rods, I'm gonna try to put all the info in the description, or as much as I can. So yeah, I mean, hopefully this helps, and thanks for watching. Catch you next time.